I'd like to cover the material now that Dr. Onye covered on Monday. This was called Harmonic Options for the 4-Chord, Monday being the 29th of September 2005. In this case, we're talking about the 4-chord when it functions as part of another key, but operates in a way where you would think if you isolated on that section that you were in the key of the 4-chord. This is a very common device. You see it every time you see a chord progression like this. And then all of a sudden this happens. You're still in C, right? You were always in C. You never left C, but for a minute there, it's like you were flirting with the 4-chord and the key of the 4-chord. You used a 5 of 4, a secondary dominant, to get to that 4-chord. And one of the ways Dr. Onye put it that I thought was kind of clever is that F becomes the 4 in C through a reciprocal relationship. C agrees to be the 5 in F, right? Which is why this works. To get you to F, you can be in the key of C. You know, once again, I never left C. I went to F for a minute, and it felt like I might be in the key of F, but I wasn't. So this is what's going on with this relationship, and there's all kinds of possibilities. One of the first things Dr. Onye demonstrated was from the melody to Because He Lives. That section. So you've got, because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Well, the first part's going to be 1-5-1. We're in C. 1-5-1. But now, see that? Where did that come from? That's the 4 in the key of F. And it harmonizes this note. Now, you could do that without doing that. You could play this melody without doing that. You can just stay in C. Here we are just staying in C. That works too, but the flirting with the key of F makes it a lot juicier sounding. That B flat grabs your ear and pulls you into it a little bit more. That's the beautiful part about it. Another thing he talked about was using Mixolydian scales, right? Which is, of course, in this case, it would be the scale that we get when we use C as the 5 of F. So here's C major. Now, if I'm going to F, there's F major. Well, rather than just doing the scale, go ahead and use triads. Gorgeous, right? And of course the triads are C, D minor, E diminished, F major, G minor, A minor, B flat major, and C. These are the same things that you'd find if you were in the key of F, but if C is your bass note, if C is your reference point, then you're playing a Mixolydian scale, or a C7 scale if you want to call it that. You can also play these in inversions. It's an interesting sound in inversions. Sorry. That's first inversion. Here's second inversion. Sorry. a very nice sound. Now, another gem that he dropped on us during all this was he did this walk up to A minor using watermelon chords. So this is C. Now I'm adding the third down here with my left hand. Now if I do the same thing, I can just play the third as the bass note. That's a complete sound too. Now if I walk up the scale to A minor, watch this. There's the melody, but you can harmonize it by saying, now normally these would be, by the way, okay, that should be an F sharp, that should be a G sharp and an F sharp. Okay? He had a 2/5 he showed us, which was really nice. It was like this. There's E minor 11. That would be an F sharp. E minor 11. And there's A 9. A dominant 9. Yeah, it doesn't have a root in it. There's no A in it, but that's what it's functioning as. Now, when you take this business of dealing with this Mixolydian and C B flat relationship, using C and B flat, 4 and 5 of F in the key of C, what's really interesting is when you make them seventh chords. B flat, C7 and B flat major harmonize that scale. But using the sevenths, you get all the notes of an F major scale, or if you want, you get all the notes of a C Mixolydian scale. So C, there's B flat major or C7. Here's B flat major, C7, B flat major, C7, B flat major, C. This is a really pretty sound, and you can do all kinds of cool stuff with it, right? Depending upon, if you've got a 5-1 situation. Let's see. Should pedal that, make it more effective. So it's a nice feel. It's a nice sound. You can do more with it than that even. So, for instance, if you've got B flat to C to F, right, obviously you can play the bass notes. This is never going to be wrong. It's not just, but it's not your only choice. What's interesting is you can turn them around on each other. That's a cool sound. And this is something you hear a lot in gospel music. So you've got a C over B flat, and then a B flat over C, and now an F over A. So you're saying 4, 5, 3, but the progression is 5, 4, 1, right? All right, then you've got a 2, 5. You can do a 2, 5 this way. Now the 7th treatment will work too. So that's using a 2, 5, but using B flat and C both over G minor and C7, which works once again because of the Mixolydian and the Dorian relationship. The fact that when you're playing G minor, all of these pitches are available to you. There's other ones too, but these are the basic ones that are available to you. When you're playing C7, all these pitches are available to you, and you can move up and down. There's those Mixolydian triad patterns, right? Pass me not, O gentle Savior. Pass me not, O gentle Savior. Right? Borrowing once again. I'm still in the key of C, but I'm borrowing from the 4 chord. If I'm borrowing from 4 major, I can also borrow from 4 minor. Right? This parallel relationship between major and minor should be exploited to make your playing more interesting. Okay, if we look at How Great Thou Art. Okay, we've got. But now we're going to the 4, so watch what happens. Now I wondered if it would be C there or F, but I like C better. I like F better. I still never left the key of C, even though I'm really hanging out in F quite a bit. All right. One other thing he talked about. This is a progression you'll hear a lot. Start listening for that. 1, 5 of 4, 4 in first inversion, 4 minor, back to 1. Or it could go to 5 before it goes back because the A flat could lead to, you could say. Start listening for that. 1, 5 of 4, 4, 4 minor. And he gave us a nice run based on the combination of that 4 minor and 1, using the added second, which of course this is a mu chord, and this is an F minor with an added 2. But you get a really cool sound if you use this as a run. Or you can do some filigrees in it. Okay, we'll talk more about this Tuesday night at the intermediate guided practice and through the week, but happy practicing. I hope this helps.